Hello everyone, and welcome back to the first main save of the year. So we are going to have two. There's going to be one, which are going to be PAC Omonia 29M. I'm going to butcher this name the whole time. And the other is going to be Bursaspor in Turkey. This, if you couldn't have guessed by the image on screen, is Omonia 29M. So they are a football club from the Cypriot 2nd Division and have a very, very interesting history, which we'll get into in a little bit. I will link the Wikipedia article in the bio of this video if you are interested in learning more about them. I think they have a really awesome story. I love them a lot for some of the stuff, and I only really found out about them quite recently. And yeah, I've really just enjoyed learning about them, and I think this will be really fun. We get to learn more and see more about a team with some really awesome history and really amazing ideas and beliefs a part of them as well. And I really hope we can continue to go along with that and try to do our best to maintain that process as well. So to get started, I think we'll look through here, and then as we go through the joining of the club, I think I'll talk a little bit more about their history and stuff like that. If you are interested for a quick snippet about their history, it is linked in the playlist to this channel the playlist on my channel. I've put a bio which will explain a little bit of why we've chosen the club, the story, and what our goals are with them. So without further ado, I think we'll get into looking at the squad, seeing what's going on, and the tactic I've already set up for these boys. So RPJ has been confirmed. The inexperienced 23-year-old, I've chosen pretty much my equivalents in badges to my real-life capabilities of what I've earned. So obviously put pen to paper on a deal, and we've replaced this guy. So, very little reputation. We have one, I think this is when we click on it, I think that's the 3rd division, because we're now in the 2nd division. They finished in what division is that? 2nd division, mid-table last year. Also is the Cup, which is the Coca-Cola sponsor. Pretty neat. So the yard was founded in 2018. We'll learn a little bit more about that in a bit. This is our assistant manager. I want to show it. Oh boy. Well, he's got 16 working with youngsters. Like to see that. That is very, very useful. That'll be helpful for us going into the future. Status is okay, poor training, poor youth, and basic youth recruitment. So not the greatest. We'll definitely have to look to improve that over time. We have no director of football, and this is the president of the team as well. So budget-wise, I mean, just nothing. It's peanuts, and the wage budget is pretty small as well. But we are a team in the 2nd division of Cyprus, and they have won the 3rd division. So here's our team right now. We have 2 players on loan from teams, I believe, in the 1st division, and we've loaned out 1 as well. So I am going to be playing a different formation than the prescribed 4-2-3-1. Oh my god, I couldn't speak there. I looked at the team a little bit before just to get an idea of what I wanted to play, so we could go through this a little easier, and that is kind of what I feel about it so far. You will get to see what I'm going to choose then, but I think some of our key players are going to be this guy right here. So I think he's going to be really key for us. I mean, if you could see already, come on, scroll. All right, whatever. It's not working, but I think he's going to be one of our key players. Looks very good, 29 years old. I think he's going to be fantastic for us. I think another key player will be this guy as well. I do have some concerns over the first touch and stuff like that, but 11 technique, 11 finishing, got decent pace, stamina, the composure, concentration, stuff like that. So there's anticipation season as well. So there's a few things that I'm excited about, and it's not the worst heading and stuff like that, but for this division, I'm assuming it's going to be pretty good. We do have some decent wingers. This guy is decent, and so I think it's this guy as well. He's alright. There's another player too, I can't remember off the top of my head going through all of them. But yeah, there are some decent players here, which I think we have a decent team. I'm not sure about finishing in first or something like that, but I think we have a solid enough team where we can do pretty well. So, the rules they want are signed players under the age of 23 for the first team. Do not sign players over the age of 30. That's fine. I tend to kind of follow those rules anyway, so that should be pretty helpful for us. Work within the wage budget, of course. I tend to be pretty decent at that. Finish mid-table. They want us to win promotion within 3 seasons. Okay. And they want us to be competitive in the cup. We have a 1-year deal, so we got to make sure we do well enough to get renewed. The supportive culture. So the interesting about this team is that it is fan-owned. So the supporters should have a really, really large sway on what we do. So we're going to have to make sure we make them very happy as well. They strive to make success on or off the pitch and record a top half finish. So if we actually see here, that's going to be interesting. The board want us to finish mid-table, but supporters think we can do even better. So that's going to be interesting because we're going to really have to make sure we make them happy. Yes, we'll meet the media, inter-squad friendly, and I'll take that every fortnight. Please. Okay, so here's the squad. Why is I seeing that homegrown thing? All right, here we are. So, excuse my runny nose. My allergies are beautiful in every way. So, all right. Looking at the club info. Perfect pitch condition. That's pretty sweet. So, this is our stadium. 2,000 capacity. Our top prospect is this 20-year-old. Who has, all right, actually pretty good potential for us. He plays right back. Our key player is this guy, who looks very, very solid as well. Vice captain, and he is our captain right here. Pretty shit player. And boy, that's an interesting photo. That's very blurry. All right, so here is the league table. My scroll is being a little wonky. Much to a mouse. Financially, we've looked at that. We have overall bounce about 58K. No legends, no favorite personnel, no derbies. I'm just confused by that. So these guys, which is what I thought we might get into and explain the history a bit. So these are our fierce rivals. The thing that's very interesting about these guys is that our club, Omonia 29M, is actually the old supporters group of these guys. So the group called, I have this pulled up here. Where is it? Gate 9. So in essence what happened was this club here, Omonia Nicosia, had to stop being a fan-owned club because of financial difficulties. So what they did is that they were bought out by an American Cypriot businessman named Stavros Papasatravu. I'm butchering all of these names. So they were bought out by him and became an owner club, so a for-profit club. Now, they had used to be non-profit and fan-owned. So what happened is the fans of Gate 29, who were absolutely livid with what had just happened, decided to, the same exact day of the purchase, which was May 29th, 2018, decided to form the new club on that same exact day, called PAC Omonia 29M, which is the Peoples Athletic Club Omonia 29th of May. So that is who we are. We are 29M because we are the club founded on the 29th of May. Now, the reason that they were so bothered by this is because the Gate 9 are incredibly left. They are very very anti-establishment, very anti all like capitalism. They don't want any of this stuff, and I all for that shit. Fuck that. Capitalism sucks. So because of that, they didn't want to have anything to do with this club anymore, and they left and formed their own, which I think is amazing. They all pooled their money and created this club here. And now it's worked its way up to the second division, maintaining fan-owned club, maintaining non-profit status, which is totally, totally amazing. So, did I say non-profit? No, why the fuck did I say non-profit? Fan-owned. I don't know why I said non-profit in my head there. But so yeah, they've only existed for 4 years, and they've flown up the divisions. Obviously, so COVID kind of stunted their progress. They were not named champions in the COVID year, but they were awarded the third division promotion spot, and were promoted to the second division. Then the following, they were promoted to the third division, then earned automatic promotion to the second division, and then this past season they finished 10th in the second division with 9 wins, 9 draws, and 12 losses, and they were knocked out of the Cypriot Cup in the first round. Now, so in essence, there's been some issues. Pretty much, they are not fans of teams in the first division. I don't totally understand the issue, but they have marched in protest of the first division teams and have not shown up for that. So there's some interesting things with that, which I'm sure we'll learn more about as it goes on, and I can learn more about the club. But yeah, as of right now, they did not enter the stadium pretty much into protest of the supporters, the opposite side. So they had to present like a special card, of supporters card, to get in the opposing team's stadium, and they pretty much didn't want to do that. I'm not totally certain why. It just says that they didn't want to because of some other reasons that had to do with the club being in the first division. So obviously I'm not totally certain, but there is a dislike of most of these teams within this first division, which I think is going to be really interesting for us as well. So it's pretty much, we hate these guys. They are our fierce rivals, even though we used to be fans of them. And we are forging our own story and own group as people that stand for anti-capitalist ideas, and I really, really love that. So obviously also, Gate 9 is a group that I'll also link their Wikipedia page to if you want to learn more about them. They're the Ultras of pretty much the team, and so they are pretty, I don't know, I find it super cool, and their ideologies are really, really interesting, and I really encourage you to just go look and continue to see and stuff like that. They're heavily associated with communist beliefs, as you couldn't tell by the star, and yeah, I'm just excited and looking forward to getting into the Save More, playing with them, and yeah, I'm just I don't know what to say. I'm terrible at putting all this stuff together. I like have a script in front of me here of what I should talk about, and I've already messed it up, but I don't know. I kind of feel it's more natural. I enjoy the more natural, mistake-filled approach, but yeah, I just love it. They stand for a lot of really, really awesome ideas. They stand for really great things, and I want to make sure that we can get to the first division, being fan-owned, maintaining our ownership, and maintaining everything that we have, because we have a president, but that's about it. It says the supporters, I don't know where's the thing that shows you the supporters' impact? Influence on the board is moderate. That's really weird. Whoever the database I got definitely did not take that in consideration there. I also do love how there's no corporate fans. That is amazing, because that totally fits these guys' up vibe. So yeah, that fits them completely there. Now this I think should be incredibly high, but will be something we have to worry about, and we'll look to make sure we strive to give the supporters the best we can. Georgios Makris is going to be someone we're going to have to very much impress a lot this year. But if we look at the squad in terms of, why does this homegrown thing keep popping up? There we go. That's bizarre. So here's our squad right now. We have, Jesus Christ, that keeps popping up. We don't have all the players, obviously, because there's not all of them. So I'm going to have to make some signings for sure. Obviously, we do have a U21s. Did I hit overview? I might hit squad. So there's a U21s, and there's a few players on it that are decent enough, like these three guys here. So we can definitely call them up, because now I don't know if we'll need them or not, but you know what? Better to have some players that are 2 stars nonetheless. I think there's a few 19s as well. No. All right, so this looks like it'll probably be our main squad. Why does that keep popping up? Oh, FM. So obviously our best player looks to be this guy, who is a left wing back and left back as well. So we'll see how that goes for him. Some of our next best players is this guy, who's a winger, as well as our goalkeeper we've got on loan, which is fantastic, as I always love having a good goalkeeper. It makes your saves and everything else a lot easier. And he's actually played for West Ham and Bury, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, we've got some really, really key players. I think we're going to just look at the tactic I've already set up. There it is. See all the names. So here is the tactic. It's pretty basic. We are the second division. I'm not expecting loads of incredible things from our players, so I just kind of want to keep it a little more simple. So in essence, I want us to focus on, I think I'll look here first, high pressing, quick counterattacks, and just quickly getting the ball, being direct. Like, just quick, direct attacking is what I want to focus on. I don't want to worry too much. I want us to, like, there's not much objectives. I just kind of want us to be ourselves in play. So I want our wingbacks to get forward, our wingers to get in, and I want us to have a lot of players high up the field, because if we're going to be using wingbacks, we're going to get them up here in these positions. We're going to have players up here. We'll have players tucking in here, and we're just going to get a lot of people up the field, onto the opposition, putting pressure on them, forcing turnovers. Because I feel like at this level, if we can get a lot of players upfield to attack and then have a lot of players back to defend, we're going to be successful, because it's not the highest echelon of European football. It's pretty low level. We might as well just focus on the numbers game here. And that's what I've gone for. We get 5 in defense. We've got 5 in attack, which can have even more. And we can have freaking 7 guys in defense if need be. So I don't know. I just feel like this is going to be a very good system. I also think that we have some good players to go in here. I think he'll be brilliant. Obviously, we'll need to invert the wingers, and I think this guy needs to be on this side. Right? Yeah, he's going to have to be on this side. And then, who's there? I think it's Lillis. Yeah, Lillis is going to be on this side. You know, because he's a winger on that side, but he's an inverted winger on this side. So, obviously, they'll learn their positions more, but I think they'd be great. Like, look at the standard of our team already here. Deep-lying playmaker is going to be you, and then box-to-box is going to be this guy. So, I mean, look, we're already 3 stars minimum, and this guy is pretty damn good. I'm going to be happy. This means a defensive playmaker. The positioning does, very much scare me because of that. But he's attacking midfielder, which we want to expect him to get forward more. But you know, from this position, I think as a deep-lying playmaker, he can do really, really well to get forward. He's got a decent first touch. His passing is good. His vision is solid as well. So something that will help us get the ball forward. This guy has got decent stamina. He can be a great box-to-box, I feel like, for us. Just not amazing stats here, but just the work rates and the physicals are going to be useful for us getting forward and attacking. In terms of the wingbacks, obviously, this guy, he is probably our best player, goalkeeping-wise. Him. Right back, I forget if we have one or not. I think this guy is a right... No, yeah. Yeah, so he's a center mid. Yeah, I think right back's a position we're probably going to have to get. In terms of center backs, I think it's... Yeah, we only have like a few, right? No, these are the right backs. So it's this guy here, who's like a winger, but he's really, really young. Or it's this guy, who is really not that great himself. Obviously, I mean, we'll kind of just go with like this guy for now because he's younger, but he's not terrible. That's probably a position we got to improve. And then in terms of center backs, there really is only like 2 guys. So it's pretty much, we have this guy here, and then this guy here. So there's only really 2 guys, but that's fine because we will bring those players in. So they'll just kind of, we'll stick them in, but that's kind of the team that I think we're going to stick with for now. Obviously, these guys can be all useful and do a job, but they will get kind of, some may leave, some may stay, some get replaced. Kind of got to go through some preseason to figure it out. But in essence, the defense is what we got to work on to improve the team on. But I think the front lining going forward is really, really good. So I'm happy about that as we can score some goals. Now, looking further into some things, in terms of the depth center, there's no real players that we have that can build into anything. We have one guy here, and if we take a look at him, we cannot recall him from loan. Now, I would kind of prefer to. 22-year-old, and is decent enough at goalkeeping where he would be a viable backup to us, which would be lovely. So we'll see if we bring him back or not. Obviously, financially, we don't have much money at all. We have very little to spend in the wage budget, and we have a few here in the transfer budget. So it's definitely going to be a case of let's get guys out to bring guys in, which obviously can be very difficult. If we do look at some of the wages of our team are pretty low. Now, the worst players tend not to have the bigger wages. This is the only guy here. He's a center back, though, so we probably don't want him to let him go. But I think we can kind of look around and see some scragglers, maybe players who want to leave or something like that. But yeah, it's kind of got what we figure out. No one's really on a massive wage. Obviously, we can check out the squads then here and see, like, this guy's on a lot. Obviously, he's a bench. He should be a bench player, but we'll see. And 19's like no one's on much either themselves. So we kind of got to figure that out, I think. Maybe make a little room in the wage budget. Obviously, we have enough to kind of get in one star player, I'd say, which could be a star center back. And maybe if we make some adjustments here, well, we can't really make adjustments on that. So yeah, we'll kind of see and figure that out as we go along. Staff-wise is my other thing here. We have no recruiting staff, so we'll have to bring in some there. In terms of coaching staff, we seem to have a decent amount of staff. Now, obviously, we have an analyst, which they don't really want us to have, so I guess we'll have him stick around. He is not very good at his job. But fitness, goalkeeping assistant, those are all really important. We can take all of those. I'm not sure if we'll really need anything else right now. Maybe a head of youth development could be useful, but obviously we want to make sure that we stay within a good level in terms of money. Now, the obvious concerns are coaching staff for the 19s and 21s. Now, that we're definitely going to have to bring in some staff for, because I need those guys to develop and help us in the future, so we're definitely going to have to bring in staff for that. But I think it's not going to be too much staff. I think we're probably going to get in a scout, and then a head coach for each team, and that's probably going to be it. And maybe a sports scientist. I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll see the cost and everything like that and try to figure out that. But finally, oh boy, I was about to say, finally, let's take a look at this. Wow. Team cohesion is terrible. Jesus, we'll have to work on that. Now, since we've come in, we've got a strong influence. You have a good reputation when compared to the players. So obviously, what we have is holding up well. No players are unhappy, which is fantastic. Very happy players on the first team. Very happy players as well. There are contrasting personalities within the club. And a lot of players that don't share the same levels of professionalism. Now, that's another thing, too, that we're going to have to be concerned with, is making sure that when we bring players in, they have high levels of professionalism, so to make sure that we can improve the squad and bring them up to a higher level, because we are going to be moving professional. We need players in that attitude and that idea set to make sure we can be more successful. So, obviously, we have a few players here that are not as balanced personalities. It's fine. Ambitious and balanced. Those are all right personalities. Unambitious, balanced. Is the big group the one with like the bad eggs? They're all just balanced. All right, that's interesting. All right, he's just unambitious. This guy. I'll send him down anyway. Go to the U19s. Happiness-wise, why is he abysmal? I don't know. Hopefully when we have a chat with the team, we can improve things. Team meeting. Let's see if we can't do anything here. Oh, boy. Alright. They're not sure. So I don't really want to make any promises right now. Now I think we can finish in the top half. They do agree. All right, they're happy with that. That's brilliant. That's exactly what I want to hear. I think we can get good account of ourselves in that. Awesome. That's gonna raise people's spirits. Beautiful. Okay, it's not incredible, but it's raised some morale, which is really good. So let's see. That didn't do much there, but it's raised club atmosphere a significant amount. which is going to be really, really helpful for us. So now that'll be helpful going forward. So the team cohesion is going to have to be something we work on. Hopefully, we can get that up in the future, because that will be very concerning. But I am definitely excited for us. So we have a few friendlies to play before the beginning of the season, which is the first cup game, which is when I will join you guys again for the save. So I hope you guys have kind of enjoyed what we've looked at so far. Obviously, this is the other things here. We can have a max 5 non-EU players. That's going to be very useful for us as well. We can only have 35 people registered in the squad too. Friendlies and stuff like that, I'll obviously figure that out. Here is the how the breakdowns and stuff, the tax requirements, and then the fact I take charge. And we have players in the last year of their contracts. So this is something obviously we'll figure out. A lot of people have re-signed very recently, so that's something we might not have to look at until much later. Now, finally, before we go, just take a look at the expectations. I think that's very, very fair. The only thing I would say, oh, they can't negotiate that. That is fine with me. All right. Reach second round. How much more do they give me for that? 700 per month. I'm going to say first round, just because I'm not sure what players are going to want to come to us. I don't want to make a promise and then fail right away, because we're only in a one-year deal. We want to make sure we can achieve. But yeah, I think that's all I kind of want to go through. In terms of our schedule, as I said, we're in July. That's end of August. So yeah, I'm going to pretty much play ahead a month now on my own, and I'm going to get to the first game that we have, which is the cup game. We'll go through some of the squad, who's joined and stuff like that, and then we can have a chat about the season and how it's going to go. So the transfer window closes on September 14th, meaning that we'll play this cup game, and then the first game we can do a bit of a roundup of the transfers as well. So yeah, that's lovely. Well, so we already got our first 2 episodes set and everything all good to go. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the first save of the year with Omonia. I'm very excited to see how we get along with these guys. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Remember, if you did like the video, to hit the like button and subscribe. And make sure to check out all the highlights on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, where I'll be showing you all of these games, as well as our other friendlies. And if you're interested in the Bursaspor save, you can head to the channel and you can find that as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.